I was laid off after 25 years in corporate America. Now I get to open up a thrift store and help veterans feed their pets. Here we go again. Carmel Valley Farmers Market. Got Aaron there for the first time. Thanks for coming out. Just wanted to mention something. We might have found a space, but I don't really want to jump to conclusions because there have been these other times, probably 3 or 4 times, when we were right there at the finish line, and at this point just don't want to get too excited, but this one sounds promising. Anyway, on this day I share a couple stories about how we were at the finish line and didn't happen. What's going on, everyone? We're out here on another Sunday at the Carmel Valley Farmers Market. We're out here Sundays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So come out and check us out. I just wanted to go over some of the things that we've been talking about, specifically the stores that we've been looking at. You know, we've looked at dozens and dozens of stores, and none of them are perfect. There's always issues with one, if not multiple issues. So at this point we are trying to figure out what best fits our model, our budget, and everything that else comes with looking for a storefront. Just wanted to talk about a couple ones that kind of stand out in my head. There was this one that seemed to be a perfect fit for us. They were open to the nonprofit events. They were right on a main street. That was awesome. And the hang up we had, it had everything that we liked. We liked the parking, we liked the location, we liked them open to events, but they would not budge on a couple things. The price was a little high, and more so the deposit was like astronomical, and it was just really so they can recoup on some of the repairs they had to do from the last tenant, and it was just impossible for us to reach a middle ground. So anyway, we had to move on. There was this other place. It was probably like my favorite dream place, just because there was already a nonprofit in place, and we were going to potentially split it and just kind of basically work together, because nonprofits that work together just thrive, and it's a little easier. So anyway, it's just there was no parking. That was kind of terrible. The space was just not ideal for retail, as it was just oddly shaped. But again, I just love the location, but the rent was just too high, probably double what we were looking for. So anyway, we had to pass on that. And a lot of these, we're like down to the end where we're about to sign the lease. We're in talks. We're going over with our plan of intent. There was this other one. We liked location, and they just would not let us do nonprofit things like take donations. Well, I guess I won't say they won't let us take donations, but they really made it difficult for people to drop locations off. They wouldn't let us have a bin anywhere, and it just was really hard to maneuver in the way of taking in donations and being a thrift store in that way. On a couple of these, none of these spaces are perfect, but it's okay. I know we'll find one, and I just know that there is one out there for us that'll fit our needs. It's just real discouraging when you're at the finish line and we're not able to close, but again, we'll get there. It's the struggle. The struggle is real when it comes to trying to find a space that's perfect, because really, unless you're willing to pay the premium, you're not going to get an ideal space. We found that most of the issues were parking, like a lot of parking issues for these spaces. Most of these spaces we're looking at are like 1,000, 1,200 square feet. And ideally, we'd like to make it a place where we can have events for like adoption events, make sure we're able to have spaces to hold veteran events, and just not make it a retail space for thrift. So anyway, if you guys know of any other spaces that might be available that might fit this particular thing that we're looking for, let us know. All right, guys.
Those were just some stories from the last couple months, but we do have this new contender, and I hope we get it. Anyway, it was a great Sunday with great people, great weather, and great donations. Thanks all.